are a few tips on how to be classy. First off, being classy has nothing to do with how much money you make, and it has nothing to do with how stuck up you are. You can be very poor and be very classy, and you can be very rich and be very trashy. So that is not a determining factor. But what is a determining factor? Okay, you have to be well-mannered. Yes, you have to be well-mannered. You have to be polite. You have to say your pleases and thank yous. And people that display those qualities, they are showing that they are classy. So be well-mannered. Don't be ratchet. Don't be that's not classy. That's trashy. Number 2, you have to be loyal. You know, whether it be to your friends, whether it be to your family, you have to be loyal, because that's a good virtue. And good virtues are signs of being classy. So be loyal. You have to stand up for your principles. Someone once said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So people that fall for anything, they're not classy. People that stand up for what they believe in, they're classy. So if you want to be classy, you have to stand up for your principles and don't let anybody sway you from those principles. You have to be peaceful and a humble type person. If you're peaceful, you get along better with people, so that's one thing. But also, you're being a good role model and showing other people that, you know, that's the way you're supposed to be. So that's very classy. A peaceful person or a humble person is a classy person. Somebody who doesn't like violence, who doesn't like to fight, who doesn't like to yell, who doesn't like to argue. That's a classy person. So if you can avoid doing those things, you're classy. Be generous. You know, don't be stingy, don't be selfish, because those are signs of a trashy person. And have you ever noticed that the ones that are like worried about money the most are the ones that don't have it? Yeah. That's because like the energy that you put out there, that you want to keep everything you get to yourself, it's like holding on to water. You're never going to grasp it. You're never going to keep hold to it. So be generous with what you have. You may not have a lot, but let's say somebody comes over your house. You may not have caviar to give them. You may not have wine to offer them. But if you have a glass of water, if you have a glass, offer them some water. That's being generous. Now, okay, keep it real. And what I mean by keeping it real is don't be fake, because people can see right through that. Don't be like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, because that will say to other people that you're not this and you're not that. Okay, so keep it real and stay true to yourself. And you know, don't just go with the crowd, go with the flow, just carrying on like you have no principles, because that's trash. You don't want to be trash. Okay, be willing to learn. And what I mean by that is, if you're in a conversation with someone and they start talking about something that you have no clue about, instead of following along like, just say, you know what, I don't know much about that, but tell me, enlighten me. You know, and then they'll start to tell you about what they're talking about. You know, you can't be like, oh, I know all about that, and you know nothing about it. Because then if they ask you a question about it and you end up lying, you look very trashy. So you don't want that. If you don't know something, just say you don't know it. You know, you can say to them, hey, I don't know really too much about it. Tell me more. And they'll tell you. Okay, clean up behind yourself. And what I mean by that is, however something was when you first got to it, have it be that way, or even cleaner when you leave. You can't expect anybody to clean up behind you. You can't expect anyone to not notice your nastiness. Yeah. So as soon as they see that you like left something behind, whatever it may be, they're gonna say, "Ooh, she's nasty, she's trashy," or "He's nasty, he's trashy." So clean up behind yourself, and that'll last a long time for you. You clean up behind yourself. Not saying that you have to clean up behind other people, but at least make sure you clean up behind yourself and your children. If you have children and they make a mess over somebody's house, you clean it up. Don't say, "Oh, they're gonna get you for messing up their house." No, you clean it up because that's your responsibility. Take care of your responsibilities. And last and not least, do not brag. I hear a lot of people talking about like what they have. "Oh, I have this and I have that. And I don't do this and I don't do that. And I do this and I do that." Nobody wants to hear that. Okay? Whatever you are, whatever type of personality you have, is gonna show. And people are gonna know. So you don't have to say anything to prove yourself to people. You know, "Oh, I just bought me another Mercedes." Who cares? Who cares? Okay? Because that's not a good look. That's a trashy look, just to be bragging about it, you know. People that really, if you notice, a lot of the richest people in the world are some of the most humble people in the world. Not all of them, but there's quite a few rich people that, like, they don't flaunt it, you know. They don't have to show everybody what they have, you know. I'm not saying that them being rich, because they're rich, they act that way. I'm saying because they act that way, that's probably why they're rich. Because they have those principles and they have that instilled in them since before money. So if you follow those tips and you're not classy, then people are going to start to notice that you're becoming wise and learning some class. And if you are classy and you display those qualities, then kudos to you. But if you'd like to make some extra money, please visit my website at www.easypaychecknow.weebly.com, and the link is below. And as always, have a good one. Bye.